So I want to give 3 hot takes for the Packers and their 2024 season. Jordan Love coming into his second year starting. Jeff Hafley coming in as the new defensive coordinator. There is a lot of reasons to be hopeful here in Green Bay. Now, first off, I say Jordan Love throws for 40 passing touchdowns this season. Last year in the regular season, he was second in the NFL, only behind Dak Prescott. Dak had 36. Jordan Love had 32. And I think we saw Jordan Love's full potential later in the season when everything was clicking with the young receivers, finally started figuring things out after that poor stretch earlier in the season. And I think that if we see the same Jordan Love and the same level of play we saw from him down the stretch, I think he can get to 40 passing touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers did that 3 different times in his career, so it's not like this is a easy task. But there is an extra game in the season than there had been during Aaron Rodgers' time, so he may have gotten that a few more times. But for one, I'm very confident in who Jordan Love is, the kind of player he is, and I am very expectant of seeing the same Jordan Love we saw down the stretch next season throughout the entire season. That is my take. If you guys have been watching this channel for a while, you know my thoughts there. So that's my first one. Now the second one. I'm going to say the Packers defense is top 10 in takeaways this upcoming season. So with Joe Barry, especially looking at last year, the Packers just struggled when it came to taking the ball away. Last year, the Packers only had 7 interceptions, which was second lowest in the NFL. So the Packers secondary was not forcing a lot of turnovers. I think that partly had to do with the passive, soft coverage type defense that Joe Barry liked to employ lots of the time. And the Packers' decision, Matt LaFleur's decision to bring in Jeff Hafley sounds like a move to a more aggressive type defense, a defense that is going to, force more turnovers. And here's a quote from LaFleur earlier this offseason. He said, "I want us to be fast and physical and attack the ball," added LaFleur. "We will be a little more vision-based on the back end, and I think that's a great opportunity to be able to go out there and generate takeaways." And apparently when we talked about vision-based, it's like keeping your eye on the quarterback. And so clearly, Matt LaFleur there bringing up the fact that he wants to basically generate more takeaways. And I think that when you're second lowest in the NFL in interceptions, it's like, come on, the more takeaways the Packers get, the more interceptions they get. That's just more opportunities to put the ball in Jordan Love's hands and allow him to do what he did the entire season, which was, near the end of the season specifically, just play at a top-tier level. And I think that with the additions here, with Xavier McKinney coming in, the secondary, Javon Bullard, I think that this is a much better secondary than we saw last season. And with Jeff Hafley switching things up, I do think we'll see a lot more turnovers. The Packers were okay when it came to fumbles forced. They were 8th in the NFL. But all in all, the Packers were 23rd with 18 total takeaways. So I'm saying they finished top 10, which is jumping at least 13 spots. But I think that with the change here of defensive coordinator and some additions, we're going to see this happen. If that happens, it's going to be good news for the entire Packers team. Now the final hot take here, and after you finish watching this, feel free to give me some of your hot takes in the comment section down below. I enjoy reading your guys' comments. But this is it. Luke Musgrave will be in the top 10 in both receiving yards and touchdowns among tight ends. So last year, he did miss around 6 or so games, and he finished the season 31st among tight ends when it came to receiving yards at 352. And if you go off of last year in the top 10 receiving yards when it came to tight ends, he would need to get to 673 receiving yards. He was at 352 last year, would need to get to 673 if it was the same sort of threshold when it comes to the top 10, which I think with 6 more games. But also, I think that Luke Musgrave is a really talented player, and we didn't even really get to see much of Luke Musgrave when Jordan Love started really going off, because that's when Musgrave was injured. He went down week 11, and that's around the time Jordan Love really took his play to another level. And so we haven't really seen a fully healthy Luke Musgrave with Jordan Love firing on all cylinders. Musgrave did come back for a few games to end the season, week 18, and then the 2 playoff games, but he was not playing as many snaps as he had been before his injury. And so it seemed like the Packers are trying to, ease him back in. And so I think if he stays healthy, he's going to be a top 10 tight end in the entire NFL. So those are my 3 hot takes for the Packers. Feel free to let me know yours in the comment section down below. And if you want more Packers content, make sure you subscribe, turn on the post notifications so you never miss any content, and I'll see you guys next time.